We got to make a big deal about it. We got to celebrate our dads. You know, a lot of times, we talk about mom. It's always mom. It's always mom. And it's okay. It's okay. Mom is always there. We know for sure. But there are dads that show up and show up strong. Right? And we got to celebrate them. Even the ones that don't show up as they should, you still thank God for them because you never know, yes, what God can do in their lives. You got to thank God for all of them. So we are here tonight to celebrate our fathers and, of course, to make it a great night as we walk into tomorrow, Father's Day. I want you to be in expectation for a great time. Amen. And when we put this together, I was like, this is good right before Father's Day because a lot of stress happens around this period of time. Especially those who are going through because they did not get to know their father or their father was not in their lives. And they feel that disconnection, they feel that depression, they feel that, that absence, something is missing, right? But we thought about maybe we should do something unique and different to bring you out. It's not only about daddy tonight. I want to remind you too, if you feel like your daddy is not there and is missing, and that connection is missing, or there's such absence within you, I want you to just enjoy yourself tonight. Just have a good time. Take your mind off that topic. Take your mind off that thing that keep bothering you about daddy. Where are you? Just enjoy yourself tonight and have a great time. We have some waters on the tables and some sodas if you like sodas. If you're a sweet tooth, you can lock yourself out. We're going to go in and we're going to have when we go into half of the session, we're going to have an intermission where we take a little break for 15 minutes and grab something in the back to eat and come back and continue. We're going to be here till 7 p.m. You ready to do that? Yeah? Yes. I know I didn't tell you my name. Nobody asked. Since you asked finally, for those who don't know me, my name is Callista, and I'm one of the pastors here at Freedom Voice Ministries. Yes, yes, yes. And, we love it here. We love the Lord, and, we give it all to Jesus. And when we wake up every morning, we are grateful, and we say, Lord, we thank you for giving us the strength to get up. So that's me. So check me out later. Come talk to me. Right? We're here tomorrow for Father's Day. Come and fellowship with us, right? Father's Day is happening here tomorrow. We're going to do a big celebration as well. We're going to bless the men in our lives. We have to bless them. Amen. All right. So I see Tanya is in the house, so we're not going to waste. You ready to laugh? I've been ready for this long time ago. So Tanya, I hope you bring that jokes really good tonight. Right? So we're going to play a little intro, and then right after that, the mic is Tanya's.
Get ready.
Oh, thank you. Because let me tell y'all, I got to wear these glasses. Lord, have mercy. Between the allergy, y'all bear with me. I ain't got no black eye. But how y'all doing? All right. What a pastor? The pastor here? Oh, you got two? Oh, in case one call out. That's a good idea. Where they at? Yeah, clap it up for the pastors. Oh, my God. Raise your hand, pastor. Oh, that's one pastor? And where the other pastor? Where? Oh, that pastor don't want to know that. Lord have mercy. These pastors, are they wanted? Because they don't want to raise their hand. Raise your hand if you're a pastor. All right, that's one pastor. Where the other pastor? And the blue? Oh, that pastor had. Must be wanted. But look at that pastor over there. All right, pastor, I see the pastor. That set me in my seat. That's the head pastor of the church. Y'all clap it up for him, Lord. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, nice, sexy-looking pastor. Go ahead, pastor. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, my God. We ain't had no sexy pastor when I was growing up. Old, bald, fat pastor, Lord have mercy. Ain't even know what they were saying. Oh, my God. But this pastor, this church, sexy, yeah. Yeah, clap it up. Man, if we would have had sexy pastors when I was growing up, I would have been gave my life to God. You married, pastor? You married? Where your wife? Let me see. Where's she at? Raise your hand, wife. Oh, she down there ducking. Go ahead. Let me see. You better go ahead. All right, First Lady. Look at her. Yeah. First Lady look nice, too. Yeah. She gonna make sure ain't no second lady, third lady. God, I know that's right. Got her head down, her back. Lord have mercy. And look at these people here. Oh, look at them. They all together. Look at y'all. Y'all together? One of them said yeah, the other one ain't no. How long y'all been together? 30 years? Clap it up. 30 years. Let me come down here. Lord have mercy. Let me come down here. You been with him 30 years? You got to ask, because sometimes they're like, yeah, 15, 30 straight years. You know, sometimes people be separating and stuff. It's 30 straight years to the same. Now, that's a blessing. Clap it up if you married, right? Yeah. Because when you first get together, they the apple of your eye. A few weeks later, you want to hit them in the eye. Lord. Yeah, when you married to the right person, it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing. I love being married, but I ain't even married. I've been divorced for a long time. I forgot. I used to be married 7 years, y'all. Honey, we were sitting in church. Pastor said, turn to your neighbor and tell him it's over. He happened to be my neighbor that Sunday. 7 years, that's the year of completion. I figured we were done anyway. He's like, if you divorce me, I'm going to take the kids, and you ain't never going to see them again. I said, you promise? Because when I met you, I ain't had none of these kids. I was like, Lord. But when you married, it's just a good, beautiful thing. Lord, have mercy. It's just something about being married. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like nice things. He would go, and he'd come back with a Michael Kors bag, C-O-O-R-S. And I said, that's exactly what you've been drinking, C-O-O-R-S. I said, I don't think this is right. But what are single people? Raise your hand if you're single. Oh, don't look like they too happy. Lord, have mercy. I don't know if God got a waiting list or what's going on. But when you first single, it's like, yes, Lord. And then you like, man, because I had like a long list of things like I'm believing God for and a mate. I had to go look at my list and be like, what do I got on this list? Because when you first get single, it's like, all right, Lord. Because I was like, I'm believing God for a fine man, a chocolate man, a man that loved God. 2 weeks later, my dad showed up. I said, this is what I wasn't talking about. But you got to be careful, single people. Oh, my God. Because I went to this church. The pastor said, if you believe in God for a husband, God said to come to the altar and throw $100 up here, and God going to bless you with a husband. I said, I ain't never heard of this. So I was sitting down because I didn't have $100, but I had $10. I said, well, I ain't going to be the only one sitting down. If I fold it a couple times, put a crease in it, it's going to look like 100. I said, I'm about to get in this line. So the ladies, they was like, you get a husband, you get a husband, you get a husband. I'm up next. I was like, all right. The pastor said, stop. God is shifting the atmosphere. The Lord said, instead of throwing the money on the altar, God said to put it in my hand. Yes, Lord. I said, my God. I had to pray real quick and ask the Lord for instructions. So instead of doing that and being embarrassed, I did what the Lord instructed me to do. I fell out. Now, whatever was on me was on the ladies behind me, because I noticed 2 of them fell out. But I didn't know why they fell out, but I knew why I had fell out. So I was laying there on the ground, and I wanted to know why they fell out. So I wiggled over a little bit, and I asked them. I was like, why are you on the ground? They was like, we only had $10. I said, Lord have mercy, will a man rob God? But I'm glad y'all came out here on a Saturday. Y'all clap that up, because we living in different times. People out there protesting, traffic out there, they holding signs up, talking about no more king and all this king stuff. I didn't know what was going on. My son had to inform me what was going on. I thought they was protesting against Burger King one time. I said, hold up, we can't be protesting against no Burger King. But it wasn't that, because, you know, we got a new president, y'all. And I said, you know what, no matter who in charge, we got to pray, because God is in charge at the end of the day. And I started praying for him. I was like, I don't agree with what he's saying, but I pray for him, because I said, hold up. Tell me he's going to put walls up in China, he's going to put walls up in Japan. That's when I really started praying, because that's where I get my hair from. I said, I can't have him to block my blessing. And you watch the news, they tell me they're going to put all the tariff tax. I said, oh, my God, they about to tariff all the wigs and the weaves, Lord. All the ladies going to have to go natural. We ain't going to recognize a whole lot of people at church, Lord. You know how it is. You better stock up now. You better stock up now. But I'm just excited to be here, because let me tell y'all, last couple weeks, my blood pressure was 189 over 209. Man, I don't like going to the doctor or the hospital because they nosy. Tell me, who your provider? I said, Jehovah Jireh. Before I go to the hospital, I'll go in my medicine cabinet. I take stuff the doctor give me before. Now, I don't know what I've been taking sometimes because the label peeled off, but I figure if it worked before, it's going to work again. I get to the hospital, I said, what have I been taking? They said, you've been taking prenatal. I said, well, that ain't the problem. They told me, we're going to have to give you a COVID test. They went to swab me for the COVID test. I said, hold up, this thing hurt. You're going to have to give me an epidural. I was like, we can't give you no epidural for this. I said, well, hold up. They took me in the back and said, we're going to run some tests on you. We're going to let you know what's wrong with you. Now, I don't operate in the spirit of fear, but I operate in the spirit of concern. I get in the back, I see this long machine say MRI. Anybody ever had an MRI? Honey, I said, hold up. I started looking at the machine, and I looked at me. I said, hold on. How you gonna get all this into that little machine? The lady gonna come over flipping pages and stuff, looking at her record. She told me, Miss Lewis, it's written down on your paperwork that you weigh 175. I said, nurse, that's my weight in kilograms. That's my faith weight. I said, that's what I'm believing God for. That's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I started going down memory lane. I said, hold on. I was like, I ain't seen 175 since like 4th grade. You're going to have to do a few test runs to make sure I'm getting this machine and everything going to be all right. I had her to put me in the machine. I had her to take me out. Had her to put me in the machine. Had her to take me out. We did that about 5 or 6 times. She's like, you ready to have the procedure now? I said, you should have taken them pictures while I was in there, because there ain't no way I'm getting back up in there. Man, she ain't had no fruit of the spirit. Sent me home with Percocet. Anybody ever had a Percocet? Ooh, you talking about a mind regulator. Man, it'll change your whole life. Now, on the bottle in small writing, it says, do not operate a moving vehicle while taking this medicine. I said, first of all, I'm the one to pay the car payment. You gonna tell me I can't drive my own car? I took that Percocet, got across Woodrow Wilson Bridge. I heard something go doo-doo-doo. I said, the police, they got me. I said, they done pulled me over. I looked in the rearview mirror. I said, they done changed the vehicle. I looked in the other side. I said, Lord have mercy. All I heard was doo-doo-doo. I began to surrender. I said, all right. I looked again. I said, hold up. This ain't even the police. This the ice cream truck. I said, well, since we're here, can I get a Nutty Buddy? Because I've been in the hospital all night, and I'm hungry now. He said, I just want to let you know your gas tank open. I said, well, Jesus, you had to do all that? Because I live in St. Mary's County, y'all. Y'all know where that is? Honey, they pull you over all the time, be asking you crazy questions. Why were you speeding? I said, apparently I ain't see you. I was trying to keep up with the flow of traffic. He said, you the only car out here. I said, well, you see how far behind I am, right? Then he gonna tell me to step out the vehicle. I said, uh-oh. Tell me they were looking for someone that fit my description. Where was you at between 5 and 6? Honey, the Percocet started talking on my behalf. He wanna know where I was at between 5 and 6. I said, I was in kindergarten. He said, where you live at? When I tell you the Percocet became my representative, the Percocet said, tell him where you live at. I said, I live next door to my neighbor. Officer said, where your neighbor live? The Percocet said, tell him. I said, my neighbor live right next door to me. I'm glad y'all laughing. Because the next morning when I got out of jail, I went to church. Woo! We go to church when we're in trouble, don't we? Man, Percocet was still on me. We sitting in church. I'm in there praising God. I ain't gonna say I was asleep, but I was resting in the presence of God. I heard everybody clap, so I thought church was over. I got up and stood on my feet. Pastor said, who else will give $10,000? I said, Lord, I ain't fooling with this medicine no more. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Clap it up. Oh, he raised his hand right there. Oh, Lord, he raised his hand, yes. How many kids you got, sir? One? All right, you still a father. Go ahead. I know that's right. Anybody got more than 5? Well, they put their hand down. Oh, she tapping him like, all right, they over there. Ain't nobody got over 5 kids? Anybody got more than 1? You got 3? Oh, that's a beautiful thing. They say children are a blessing. I'm like, they a lesson. I'll never do this again. Lord, have mercy. Kids are expensive, aren't they? Lord, have mercy. I got 3. Oh, my God, yes. One came in here today. Look at him, Lord. That's the one that sent me the Cash App request every day. I had to block him on Cash App. He created a new name. I said, you know what, I'm going to block that one too. Somebody, let me get some money. I said, boy, all I have are big bills. He said, let me get one of them big bills. I gave him the electric bill. I said, here you go. Yeah, that's a big bill right there. Oh, my God. Then his brother, Lord, he at the age where he just want to date different people every week. Now, oh, my God, all of a sudden, this the one for me. I said, well, what make her different than the rest? Because she take my breath away. I said, that ain't nothing but asthma. You better go ahead and get you an inhaler. But the girl, man, that's the one I thought I was going to jail for. She went to school, and they told her that, they put all that stuff on her head. That's what my grandma said, they put all that foolishness in your head. She told me, she said, if you hit me, I can call CPS. And I said, you gonna need CPR. You go ahead and make a decision. Got her income tax check, y'all. Owe me money. You know she spent $1,600, got her the new iPhone. Then gonna text me, tell me I'm hungry. I said, you better eat the apple off the back of that phone. You ain't gonna get no money from me. I like them when they small. They don't really talk that much. But the kids, my kids small, they still talk. Because after church, we go to Golden Corral. Before we walk in there, I give them instructions. I said, when we go in here, you 5. I tell them 3 times, you 5. They gonna ask him, how old are you, young man? He said, I'm 13. I said, well, now you hungry, you know what I'm saying? My kids be asking me, why you don't take me on none of the trips you go to? I'm like, I took you when you were 2 weeks old. You don't remember? That's what you got to do. And when the kids go to sleep sometime, you got to tell them. They wake up hungry. You're like, we already ate. You don't remember? Trying to help y'all save some money. Graduation, don't you be spending all that money on graduation? Yearbook, $200. I said, we got all these updated phones. I can take a picture of you and all your friends. You ain't got to get no yearbook. Cause y'all remember growing up, our parents ain't getting no yearbook. Man, they send the proofs home, they whip behind that book of plastic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember how your parents go home and put your picture in that plastic book and put that plastic over it? I said, we going to jail. Life Touch is going to be on your credit. If you wanted to picture me, you had to take a picture of the picture. That's all you was going to get. Homecoming and prom, these kids want limousine. I said, your uncle worked down at the funeral home. That car looked just alike. Graduation, cap and gown. Ain't nobody paying all that money for no cap and gown. You in the choir. Go down to that church and use that choir robe. Tell them you got an engagement. See, that saves somebody about $600 right there. But we appreciate all you fathers. We know it ain't a hard job. Let me tell you, my father, oh my God, and my parents, I tell people I'm my parents' caregiver. I think when you send them food at a certain age and you have to do stuff for them, you their caregiver. So I'm my parents' caregiver right now, and that's the reason I got this gap right here. I'm trying to fix stuff as an adult that should have been corrected when I was a young child. Because you see this gap? I ain't even supposed to have this gap. My mom took me to the dentist when I was 13, and they told her I needed braces. They told her it cost $8,000, and she didn't want to tell the people she ain't had $8,000. She took me to the front of the office, and she told them people, she said, "We'll be back." You know she'd never take me back to the dentist? Instead, she took me home, and we had one of the most realest conversations we've ever had. She was like, "Girl, you're going to have to love yourself the way that God created you." And that's what I did. I've been living with this gap ever since. So moving fast forward, I'm her caregiver, and I had to take her to the dentist a couple weeks ago because she losing her teeth. She need a whole partial. Dentist walked in there with the chart and said, "It's going to cost $8,000. I said, well. You reap what you sow. Got my mom, grabbed her by the hand. We went to the front of the dentist's office. I said, "We'll be back." Yep. Took her out to eat because I'm a good child. She over there grinning with a naked mouth. Someone, "I appreciate you." I said, "I appreciate you too. But it look like you're going to have to love yourself the way that God created you. You don't need all them teeth anyway. Judgment Day, they ain't going to be able to recognize you with all them teeth in your mouth. I ain't read nowhere in the Bible about having teeth. Lord, have mercy." We go out and look at that picture. Ladies, we go through a lot. Men don't realize the stuff we go through. Some of y'all shave your eyebrows off, then you draw them on. And I tell people, if you do that, can you draw them on in the same spot that you done shaved them off at? So they don't realize we go through a lot, putting all that makeup on and stuff. Ladies, you ever draw your eyebrows on and go to church, and you sitting in church praising God, and all of a sudden you done wiped the eyebrow off? Now you sitting in church looking suspicious. They don't realize you go through all this stuff. Don't be pointing her out. Somebody remember that time over there? Yeah, that's how it be sometimes when you have, especially ladies, if you have a hat flash. How many of y'all at the age of you having a hat flash? I had one today. I'm like, man, men, they got it made. Women, we go through so much. Can you imagine a man having a baby? Oh, my God. They wouldn't know what to do. Look at that. Look at him. Would you have one more, ma'am? Would you get him pregnant? He's sitting over here like, I'm feeling that way right now. You want to have a baby, sir? So you have to appreciate us. We're going to give you your time tomorrow. That's what you're going to get for Father's Day. You're going to walk around pregnant. Y'all pray for me. It's between the medication and the heat. He like, nope, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I look at them. How long y'all been together? Because look at them. They all booed up over there at the church. They still in love. Lord have mercy. How long y'all been married? How long? Are you not married? Oh, that's why they sitting next to each other getting along. Yeah. Once you say I do, y'all ain't gonna be sitting that close. That's all right. I was messing with you, girl. I know that's right. Where y'all meet at? At work? I've been to work and I ain't meet nobody. I've been wanting to know where people meet each other at. Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Lord, we went to school together. I went home and looked at my whole yearbook. I was like, Lord Jesus, nope. But love is a beautiful thing. I just think sometimes when you marry, it should be like an expiration date, like your driver's license. Like, come back after 5 years. You still want to be married to Frank? And give me the option. You know what I'm saying? You said somebody got married yesterday? Oh, that's your best friend? Let me say. Oh, well, that's good that you got a best friend. My best friend passed away, y'all, last month. Oh, my God. Yeah. She got buried, she died in Dallas. And we had to get her from Dallas all the way to Fredericksburg. I didn't know it cost $10,000 to get a body from one state to another. Nobody told me that. I said, well, I saw Spirit was having a sale. Can we get on that? And they was like, no, we got to have people with a professional license to transport the body. And I was like, man, $10,000, a lot of money. And they asked me, they was like, well, you got $500 on it. I was like, Lord, she owed me $500 when she was here. I was like, nah. Tombstone cost a lot of money and everything, and I was like, man, she was a woman of, she ain't say much anyway, a woman of few words. I said, we ain't got to put much on there. So they asked me, they was like, well, what you think we should put on there? I said, leave it to me. So it says, girl, bye. That's the only thing on there. But I need y'all to pray for me and stuff, because lost the same job twice, y'all. It's getting rough out here. And same job twice. Now, the first time I had a plan, I went into human resources. I told them, I said, if you don't give me a raise, I'm going to quit, because I got other companies after me. Tell me, what other companies you got after you? I said, the electric company, the mortgage company, and the gas company. I'm going to need a raise. I said, if not, I'm going to quit. They told me if I wanted to quit that job, I couldn't. I had to give them a 2-week notice. I said, well, 2 weeks from now, you're going to notice I ain't been there. Told me they had a hard time finding me. I said, well, I read somewhere that a good worker was hard to find. What's the problem? So last week, y'all, I got the call. Y'all pray for me. I ain't going to tell y'all I got fired, because that's an ugly word, but I was released into my destiny. I don't know why they do it on a Friday after you work all week. I'm like, y'all could have did this on Monday. This how the call went. Let me tell y'all what happened. I got the call. They was like, Miss Lewis, we don't need you no more. As soon as they said that, the devil said, you ought to steal something. They said it again. They were like, Miss Lewis, we don't need you no more. The devil said, tear that office up. Honey, at this point in the conversation, I was like, you know what? I don't listen to the devil, but this one time, I'm about to agree with him, because I worked hard on that job. When I tell y'all I got pen and paper and I walked back to my desk, and I said, I'm coming up with a plan. I'm about to tear this whole office up. I'm about to steal everything in here, because they got some good stuff up in here. I was like, I like this stuff. I might have to call a couple of my friends, and they're going to help me get this stuff out of here. We're going to steal everything. We're going to leave them dry. Then the Lord want to intervene, and I couldn't even go through with the plan, because I was working from home. I said, Lord, I'm about to tear my own stuff up. You got to be careful who you listen to. But y'all act like y'all going to sleep now. Gotta wake y'all up. God is good. All right, I'm in the right place. When praises go up. All right, if loving you is wrong. Act like y'all was saved for a minute. That's from going to church online. Yeah, I can tell the people that went to church online. I ain't complaining. Honey, when I tell y'all I like that online church, oh my God. Do you know how much money I saved by going to church online? Church was over, I throw money down at the computer. Church is over, I go back and get it. I don't want y'all to think I was robbing God, because I wasn't. The ushers never showed up. And they ain't want nobody stealing my money. I got to wear what I wanted to church. I said, yes, I like this. Can wear what I want to church? Yes. I said, yes. Oh, my communion at online church is different than communion when you go to church. Yeah. I was doing Popeye's chicken and a Pepsi. I said, yes, Lord, I liked it. I like that online church. I was like, yeah, that's what I liked about COVID, the online church. Then during COVID, let me tell y'all, they were giving everybody food stamps. I said, what? They was like, you can get food stamps too, Miss Lewis. I said, what? They say, they gave me $200 food stamps. When I tell y'all I was happy, then we got the online church. The pastor said, lift your hands. We come against COVID right now in the name of Jesus. I said, hold up, Pastor. He said, I get food stamps. Lord. I see you got some glasses. But I tell you, I got a whole new respect for people that wear glasses, because I'm in the eyeglass category now. Lord, have mercy. My friend gave me some misinformation now. She said I can get 2 pair of glasses and an eye exam for $89. I said, well, I got $89. Get in there. She ain't tell me the lens ain't come with the glasses. Honey, I had to build a package. The lady said, well, if you want to see at night, that's $250. If you're driving and the glitter the glare get on your eyes at night, that's another $150. Scratch resistance was $399. Them glasses came to $894. From $89 to $894. So sitting there, look at the people next to you that got glasses on. They got money. Because I said, I ain't paying no $894 for some glasses. I said, I'm gonna have to walk by faith and not by sight. Because there ain't no way I'm paying $894. But I appreciate y'all having me here to come out and celebrate. Y'all raising money. Y'all doing a fundraiser? I gotta ask, because people that invited me to the church and be trying to raise funds for stuff that don't even be legit. I done church building funds for people ain't even had no church. I was like, you don't even go to church. So that's what I had to ask. I was like, Lord have mercy. Go ahead, young man. Go ahead, have your seat on over here. That's what I'm saying. You got these nice shoes. Look at the kids. That's what I'm saying. These kids, they want expensive stuff. They don't want regular stuff, iPhone and all that. Bring me something back from the Apple store. I got you. I got applesauce, apple juice. What you need? Well, I appreciate y'all having me. When I tell y'all in the treat for the next comedian, he is, oh my God, this is our first time actually being on the stage together. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm gonna stick around for a few minutes and listen to him. But I'm so excited. And we wore the same colors too. Look at that. I didn't want y'all to think we was together last night. Had to let him know. But he is cute though. You know what I'm saying? I might stick around. But y'all, make sure y'all drinking the right stuff, the Sprite. I saw them giving y'all stuff. I can drink now, some drinks. Y'all got snacks too? Because we just coming off this fast. Pastor said when we fast, we hear from God. I said, normally when I eat, that's what I hear from God. No meats, no sweets, no junk food. I said, I'm a fast from church. I come back when this is over. Because if it's a fast, why is it going so slow? I said, Daniel, better not be fat when I get to heaven. That's all I know. They changed it up where they said we can't eat after 7. I said, when God start giving hours? So I said, I'm going to fast from 7 to like 12 midnight. That's when I'm going to fast. And they talking about, you shouldn't be fasting then. I said, well, I fast from 12 midnight to 8 in the morning then. They talking about, that's where you should be asleep. I said, nope, that's when I'm up eating. Because Popeyes know when you on a fast. They're sending a coupon in the mail, 5 pieces chicken and a biscuit, $1.99. The lady told me, I saw you in Popeyes. I said, I was in there getting napkins while you're in my business. I said, well, we ain't eating all day. What we do? He was like, you need to worship. First week, I was all for the fast. Nobody like you, Lord. Yes. You heard that shaka khan in my voice? Second week, I would tell y'all I wasn't thinking about no fast. My whole worship changed. Fill me up till I overflow. Third week, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I said, man, I ain't thinking about that fast. But I'm comedian Tanya Lewis. Thank y'all for having me.
Come on, y'all. Give it up one more time for Tanya. Yes, 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 yes. Tanya, before you go, can you come for a minute? Can I have that tie?
Oh, go ahead. Let me, I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I got wear today. But
I got to find you tomorrow. You know you're going to hide from me.
no, inbox me. I'll give it to you.
I'll inbox you?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want it every day or you just want to borrow one day?
Hey, I'm keeping it.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
Come on, put your hands together. What color? I got the gold. She got me. I'm going to get it going. Come on, come on. Yes, can we give her a standing ovation? She deserved that. She earned that. She has earned that. And then she give me a gold tie, too. Come on, y'all. Come on, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to play an intro for Khai, and after that, Khai, the stage will be yours. All right, let's go.
Get ready. From Greensboro, North Carolina, comedian Khai Morgan.
First and foremost, everybody make some noise for being here, man. Make some noise for being here. On time, on time, on time, on time, on time, on time. First and foremost, man, I want to thank everybody for just showing up. You know what I'm saying? I do have some house rules. I'm going to tell you, listen, comedy is energy driven, right? So the same energy I give you, same energy you give me, I give it right back to you. So if you give me that little TV timer laughs, I'm going to give you TV timer jokes. I'm just going to keep it honest with you. And I'm also going to tell you, if you don't laugh, I don't care anyway. They've already paid me. I can go get in my car and I can go back to Laurel, Maryland, which is where I'm at. So y'all can make this easier, y'all can make this hard. It's your business. But listen, man, any graduates in the building? Anybody graduate? Anybody got any graduates? Clap if you graduated, clap. Graduated? Who else graduated? Just raise your hand. Let people love on y'all. Look at the graduates. Y'all make noise for the graduates. Any parents that got graduates? Just you? Okay. I'm just going to tell you, I graduated this year, man. Y'all clap it up. I graduated. Took me 18 years to do it, but I graduated this year. Yep. Graduated from child support. That's what I did. I graduated from child support. My son graduated on Wednesday, and my child support went right along with him. His mama was so mad. Because I Zelle my child support. My last one, I went ahead and dropped that thing off in some pennies. I said, you're going to have to count all this. But I'm so glad for my son to graduate. I ain't going to lie to you. Listen, I mean, we went through it his senior year. I mean, I don't know how he graduated the way they called our house every day for attendance. I don't even know. I think they were tired of him. He was tired of them. It was a mutual thing. They was done with it. And I ain't mad at him, because when we was going to school, you remember we went to school, we was serious about school. We ain't play no games. We had perfect what? Attendance. You know, they gave us a little award for perfect attendance. That's just like when I was growing up. I'm gonna see what age group we got in here. Where my 70s babies at? 70s babies make some noise. Just them three over there. Where my 60s babies at? 60s babies make some noise. 60s babies sound better than the 70s babies. Any 50s babies in here? 50s babies make some noise. Nobody. Watch this. Where my 80s babies at? 80s babies make some noise. 80s babies trying to show off. Where my 90s babies? 90s babies make some noise. I said make some noise. She just started waving like this a deaf mute show. Man, me and you. But y'all know we was growing up in that era. We was serious about school. Did y'all have Book It? Look, I'm taking some of y'all back a little far. Book It was where we had to read so many books and they gave us pieces. That was just me. We read because we was hungry. We ain't had no food at my house. We were reading 7 books a week. They gave us personal paying pieces for every book we read. You think we wasn't going to read? But these kids got it good. I tell my kids all the time, my kids be walking around, and they, you know, in the little video, y'all make some noise whoever made that video. That was nice. I don't know who they was talking about, but that was nice. I was like, man, I want to be just like that person when I grow up. But seriously, I've been in a couple of things. I've been in some movies. I'm going to test your knowledge. I'm going to see if y'all seen some of the stuff I've been in. Because some of y'all looking at me like y'all already know who I am, and that's cool. That's cool. Have y'all ever seen the movie Why Did I Get Married by Tyler Perry? I wasn't in it. I just wanted to see if you seen it. They over here about to lie in the church. I know that was him. Look just like him. He been doing good. Nah, wasn't in that. But I was in this movie called The Deliverance. If y'all ever seen that, that's with Monique. I was in that. If you go back in it, I'm gonna save you some time. I'm at 2 hours and such minutes. But only black guy with a bald head in there, so it's easy to find me. I was also in a movie called, you ever seen a movie with Tom Hanks? It's called A Man Called Otto. I was in that. That's on Netflix as well. I was also in a movie that's called Rustin. That's on Netflix as well. I was in a movie called Shirley, also on Netflix. So it just lets you know God can let you do anything that you want to do in your life if you believe in it and if God is involved in it. That's why a lot of stuff don't work. Y'all, you know them little auto body shirts y'all try to make didn't work because you ain't asked God to come over there and help. You got to put God first in everything, man. And y'all make some noise for freedom, man, for having this for y'all, man. I like y'all's church. But Father's Day is coming up. Where my fathers at? Fathers, make some noise. Got one father. You a father right here? Okay, keep it that way, brother. You see his hair? You see your hair? That's before having kids. You see his hair? That's after kids. You see mine? After kids. You see his? After kids right there. That's after kids. How many kids you got, sir? One? Keep it that way. You see that little logo on your shirt? You have more kids. You won't even be able to have the logo. It'll just be a shirt. How many kids you got, sir? 3? See, good God. I pray for you. Y'all stretch y'all hands to this man right here. We're going to pray right now. In the name of... How many kids you got back there, sir? 1 dozen. I said kids, not donuts. How many kids you got, man? He said 1 dozen. How do they all, never mind, it's not my business. It's not my business. I'm going to put it out there to you. I got 4 kids by 4 different people. Don't y'all do that. That's the same way I was in child support court when they tried to tell me how much I was going to have to pay. That's why I was so excited when my son graduated. That was 1 that just fell off. I done had 2 fall off. Got 1 more to go. Love my kids, though. Watch this. How many people in here love their kids? Make some noise if you love your kids. Watch this. Watch how it changed. How many people like their kids? Make some noise. See how it changed? Y'all love your kids, but if one of them come up missing, you ain't going to go looking for them. Life is too expensive. You ain't going to look for them. I know kids cost. I remember when I was having my children, they said you could feed a starving child in Somalia for 5 cents a day. I said, where them kids at? My kids expensive. Like, you ever had to feed your kids now? Remember when we was growing up? We grew up in a time where you ain't tell big mama, grandma, or your mama what you were eating for the night. What they told you. You remember that time? Back in the 90s, back in the 80s? How many people in here know about a deep freezer? Make sure you know something about a deep freezer. Look at him. The best meals you ever had in your life. Just don't scare yourself by looking at the date on that food. My grandmother got a deep freezer. Some of the food in there was older than me. I said, Grandma, I ain't eating that. I said, I'm 45 years old. That meat got to be 47, Grandma. She said it said freeze before a certain date. I said, Grandma, I think that meat has an expiration date. Said that meat done been celebrating birthdays in that deep freezer. It's time to throw that meat in the trash. But these kids don't understand, man. These kids got it so good. Like young lady right there in the blue shirt, blue dress right there. Who are parents? Right there. Young lady, you got your own cell phone? Don't look around. I'm talking to you. You got your own cell phone? Mama, she got her own cell phone? She ain't got one yet. She's coming. Remember when we was growing up, what we have? A house. Exactly. And the house phone had prison rules. Don't ask me how I know prison rules. I ain't never go to prison, but I just seen it in the movies. But prison rules, you only had 5 minutes on the house phone. Remember that? So don't get in an in-depth conversation back in the 1990s, 1980s, because you would be in trouble back then. These kids got it so good, got a cell phone. My 4-year-old has an iPad with his own password in the app with the iPad. He gonna tell me the other day, talking about some, stop looking at my password. I said, boy, I'll shut your Wi-Fi off. You won't be able to do nothing with that iPad. The kids don't understand, man. We grew up in a time where things was real. We used to have fun. Like my kids during COVID times, I told my kids, I said, go outside. They looked at me and they said, for what? I said, go outside. When we was growing up in the 90s, we was growing up in the 80s, even up in the 70s and 60s, we went outside. Make some noise if you went outside. You went outside? Because going outside, like I said, I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, but I grew up in the DMV area. Any DC people in here? DC people make some noise. See, you know, when you ask about the DC people, you got to break it down because DC people get a little, they sectional. They like their areas. So I'm going to break it down. With my Northwest people make some noise. See. It's always one yelling out at these shows. We ain't got no Northwest people in here. I grew up in Northwest, Columbia Avenue, Georgia Avenue, Columbia Road, Georgia Avenue, Sherman Avenue. That's where I grew up at. Any Northeast people in here? Northeast? One Northeast. He said it twice. That let you know he don't play no games about where he from. Southwest. Any Southwest people in here? Watch this. Southeast. I knew y'all was from Southeast. I seen how many times y'all went back there to get extra chicken. I knew you was from Southeast. He said, hey, Mo, this chicken busting. We about to go get some more. I knew it. I said, they got to be from Southeast or right down there in Suitland, one of them. I said, they from something with an S. But growing up, like I said, being from the South, man, we had fun back in the day. Like I told my kids, I said, go outside. Outside, you create your own adventure. When we was growing up back in the day, watch this. How many people ever played? Did you ever play freeze tag? Make some noise. Did you ever play freeze tag? I played freeze tag with one of my cousins back in the 80s. We froze him back in 1985. I'll never forget. And nobody even thought of him. He's still at my grandma's house like this right here. Because you know when you're playing freeze tag, you can't move until somebody unthaw you. Let me see if y'all ever play this one. Y'all ever play 1, 2, 3 red light? You ever play 1, 2, 3 red light with somebody that stutter real bad? They'll never get to 3. I had a cousin that stuttered real bad. My mama my mother was an equal opportunity employer. She said, y'all better let him count. I said, Mama, we ain't got time for this today. Cause you know when they started counting, I knew my cousin stuttered real bad. When he got ready to start counting, he started doing this. I said, what is he doing? Is he getting ready to run track or is he getting ready to count? So y'all don't make me laugh. So he started counting. He said 1. We run around the yard like this right here for about 5 hours. I was so mad at my cousin. But it's Father's Day tomorrow, man. We got some fathers in the building again. Fathers. You know, I love being a father, man. The crazy part about being a father is that they don't give us the same love they give the women for Mother's Day. Mother's Day, y'all had commercials for everything. Every kiss begins with K. If you want to buy mom some perfume, here's some great gift ideas. Father's Day, they come with this lawnmower. Who wants a lawnmower for Father's Day? And I ain't the smartest person in the world, and I ain't the dumbest, but ain't that her grass too? So if I get the gift, we both getting the gift. These kids be acting like they broke on Father's Day. I asked my son the other day, I said, what holiday come after Mother's Day? Then you gonna look at me talking about 4th of July? I said, I'm gonna remember that when your birthday come around. But I love my kids, man. Like I said, I got 4 kids, you know, and the thing about having those 4 children is that, I'm gonna tell you, my kids are great children. My oldest son just got a full scholarship, right, to North Carolina State University. Don't get me wrong, I love the HBCUs, but he ain't going to HBCU. That's a different type of, you know, that's a different type of bag right there. And before y'all stop clapping, he got a full scholarship as a space engineer. Now, I don't know how he gonna fit all of that head into one of them little helmet things, but that's not my business. They gonna have one of them specially made ones. My daughter, full scholarship, North Carolina A&T. She ain't even graduated high school yet. That's a good place to clap. She graduating next year. They already came and, come on, sis, we got you, full scholarship, we got you. She majoring, she wants to be a veterinarian. No, it ain't nice, because none of her pets have ever survived, man. It's not nice. Dog dead, fish dead, cat dead. All of them have killed each other and then committed suicide. She don't need no more pets. She don't need to work on nobody's pets. She need to go be a telemarketer or something. I'm telling you, my middle son is a dreamer, man. Any dreamers in the building, any middle children, put your hand up. Any middle children? Look, middle children, y'all know y'all misunderstood. Y'all know y'all don't get the love you deserve. Y'all be the ones trying to divorce your parents at 5 years old. Y'all just middle children, they just ignorant. They are. Because the problem with being a middle child is, here's the thing. When you a middle child, first of all, when you the oldest, you have a title. You the what? The oldest. When you the youngest, you the youngest. When you the middle child, they had to find little cute things that make you relevant. Like, oh, they sleep through the night and don't wet the bed. You know, little crazy stuff you got to find out. My middle son is a dreamer. I love that about him. The problem that I have about my middle son being a dreamer is that he don't know how to wake up and live the dream that he been trying to dream. That's just like he came to us senior year. Told you, just graduated on Thursday, Wednesday. They were just as tired of him as he was of them. They ain't want to hold him back because they knew they would have another round with him. Came to us came to us in the springtime, because you know in the springtime, most parents, kids go to the parents, they say, hey, we want to go on a college tour. Go a couple of states, take a trip, fly, drive. My son came to us, said, Dad, we want to go on a college tour. That'd be cute if his grades was college tour-ish. My son had all F's and 1D. We need to go on a tutoring tour. We don't need to be going to no colleges. We need to be sitting you down with somebody that can help you. But I love him, a dreamer. He's a dreamer. I'm going to tell you what he did. He just turned, he's 18, he'll be 19 in September. 17th birthday. He came to me and his mother, because one thing about us as parents, we are different than our parents was, right? Our parents believed that my father told me, I gave you the roof over your head, the rest of it you got to figure it out on your own. I ain't ate since 1986, so I'm trying to figure it out. That's just like my kids. Anytime they want a video game, they get it. When we was growing up, my mama brought the Nintendo box. She ain't buy the game. We opened the box. We were so excited. She took the picture. She was like, ta-da, I gotcha. Opened the box. It was some of them little Tiger games in there. I was so mad. But we grew up in different times. That's just like my kids. If my kids feel like they toes hurt when they was growing up, we bought them new shoes. I remember there was a time I had put a hole in my shoe. It was fall of 1996. Do you know I did not get rid of them shoes until spring of 2020? My mama said, we ain't getting no new shoes. You did that to yourself. You better wear some double socks. Kids got it good, man. They got it too good. My son came to me, same child that came to me about the tutoring thing. He said, hey, I know what I want for my birthday. I said, all right, cool. Because the thing is, like I said, we try to get them whatever they want. He said, Dad, it was almost time for him to start driving. He said, Dad, I want a Tesla for my birthday. Now, mind you, I drive a Mercedes. It's my car. I actually have 3 Mercedes. Love my cars. And so his mom now drives a Jeep, used to drive a Challenger. So, you know, the thing is, you can have whatever you want, right? You should be able to. But I said to him, dude, I'm not buying you no Tesla. You don't even have no license. You know what he said to me? The dreamer. Dad, it drive itself. I don't need no license. I said, you got to have a license to be behind the wheel. I told you they stupid. But you know what? Me being the parent that I am, because I've been on a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, I gave in. But let me explain something to you. And it's not a race thing, it's just a thing. When you ask your parents for certain things, you have to be very specific. You have to be down to the detail. You got to say from the make, model, color. My son did not do that. But I did go get him the Tesla he wanted. I sure did, and we went viral. We did 2 million views on TikTok. It was one of our first videos that we went viral. Because I went and got my son the Tesla. Before y'all start clapping, you're gonna be mad in a second. I went straight to Amazon and bought one of them little die-cast cars, and we and I'll tell you, I ain't got to the funny part yet. So we bought him the car. He told his brother, he said, blindfold me. His brother said, no, I think you want to be able to use your eyes to see what's getting ready to happen here. We put the little car behind his mama car in the driveway. He said, hold up, y'all, I gotta go get my driving clothes. I didn't know driving clothes was a thing, but he had bought a whole outfit so he could drive his car. His brother said, I don't think you want to waste an outfit on this right here. You just might want to just come outside. So he said, nah, man. He said, pull out your phone. He said, we getting ready to go viral. He said, I need you to record this for all my fans. He said, nah, I think you just want to put your phone away. Don't even record it this time. So he got to the car, and we took the blindfold from him. Said, ta-da! Hadn't talked to my son in 2 years, man. You got to know how to live your life and have fun, though. That's just like this year, he went to the prom. He asked me for a ghost for the prom. Anybody know what a ghost is? You know how much a ghost costs? You know how much it costs to rent it for a day? That's about some of our rent. A ghost costs $1,400 a day. Again, my son asked for a ghost. So you know what I did? I went in the closet and got a sheet. Because he said he wanted a ghost. He didn't say a Rolls Royce ghost. I came dressed as a ghost. I came in that same driveway. I hit the alarm. I started beep, beep. He got mad. But I love my kids, man. Love my kids. My youngest, that's my dog. It's my baby boy. Anybody got young kids in here? Anybody got 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds? Just me and you. Ain't that some of the ignorant stuff we ever did in the world? We ain't got no business with a baby that young. They messing up our sleeping patterns and our shoes. You used to wear Jordans, did you? Now you got on Reeboks. I get it. They what? I get it, see? I know what you're talking about. These ain't even my shoes. These my son's. He don't even know I got them on. That's why I ain't gonna be here too much longer. And if y'all recording this, play it tomorrow so he won't know that he sees his shoes, he gonna be mad. But my baby boy, favorite child, because of the fact that he was a COVID kid. COVID kids different. COVID kids ain't built like they. You know what that song? I know we in the church, but Kendrick Lamar say what? They not like us. They ain't like us. He don't even sleep. I put 2 pillars between. I said, God got you now, son, because I'm going to sleep. 45 years old. I got a certain time. What my season for? What time y'all go to bed in here? Look, 7 o'clock. That's why the show getting ready to be over. He getting ready to go sleep here. He said, y'all lock up. I got to go to bed. It's time to go night-night. Got to go night-night. Got to go night-night. Got no business with no baby that young. COVID kids, different. Know how to work an iPad? We was growing up, we ain't had no iPad. We had an eye and a notepad. That's all we had. Remember the sit and spell? We had a sit and spell. Anybody have a sit and spell? These kids got too much stuff going on. And you can't even discipline them like we would discipline. How many people in here got whoopings growing up? Look at it, look at y'all. Look at y'all. Look, she put both her hands up. She was bad. She said, I stretch my hands to thee, no other help I know. You can't do that to these kids nowadays. You send them to school with a scratch on their face and see one of them 3 letters come to your house, DSS. You can't touch these kids. They protected, making them soft. That's just like I had to learn with my baby son, Jackson. I had to learn how to discipline him different. I got all variations of friends. But some of my favorite friends and some of my white friends like my white friends. The reason why I like my white friends is because they do stuff different. I went over one of my white friends' house and they said, let me show you how we discipline our kids. I said, I got to see this. Because I know how I do mine. My little goddaughter was acting up. Her daddy's name is Sean. Sean said, you're making daddy angry. She just started tearing up. She started doing something else, started showing off. Sean started counting. By the time he got to 3, she said, I'll be good. I said, I can't wait to get home and try that on Jackson. But you do know that didn't work on Jackson, right? You do know that little melanin child that I have, it was not going to work. Because, again, this COVID kid, smart little COVID kid. I got home. Jackson was jumping off the bed. I said, Jackson, you making daddy angry. He looked at me and said, so? I said, oh, I got to break out the big guns now. I started counting. I said 1, 2. Jackson looked back at me, said 3, 4. I said 5, 6, because I know he's going to cut off at a certain point. He said 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm in timeout in the corner. But before I get out of here, man, I'm going to tell you, man, always laugh. One of the things I said, well, they said that I say, which I say all the time, is laugh to forget, but don't forget to laugh. Because you never know what the person to the left or the right of you, or even you in your mirror, is going through. I'm going to give you my testimony, right? So the son that I was just telling you about, my baby son, unfortunately 2 years ago today, he was tragically killed. He was hit by a car. Just got back from Greensboro, North Carolina this morning, celebrating my son's graduation. Had to come here, decorate his plot. He's down in Fort Lincoln Cemetery. Had to decorate it. And I'm here with y'all telling you jokes. Ain't God good? And I wore the shirt so you see I'm telling the truth, right? This is my son, right? This is my guy. You know, so, you know. And if I can go through what I'm going through, right? Because when you go through something like that, they try to give you all this medication, right? Because, you know, doctors don't get paid off of you getting better. They get paid off of you staying worse. So they say, hey, you know, Mr. Morgan, we got this medicine. We can give you some Xanax. We can give you this. We can give you that. I said, if you ain't got Jesus, you ain't got nothing you can give me. I said, because ain't nothing you got that's going to heal this broken heart but God in time. When my son passed away, his funeral cost us $30,000. Never had to pay a penny of it. You know why? Because we had life insurance. One thing I'll tell you, when you leave here tonight, if you don't do nothing else, you go to Walmart, whatever, go get you some life insurance. If you think people don't like you now, wait till you pass, see how much they really don't like you. His funeral, $30,000. Son had a wrapped casket with all of his pictures because my son took pictures like every single day. Him and I, we went viral because we used to do Good Morning Motivation videos, which is on TikTok as well. And his funeral had 1,000 people in attendance in the building, 1,000 online. He had a crown ceremony where they put a crown upon his head. He had a horse and carriage, $30,000. But that was his graduation. That was his wedding. That was his prom. That was his wedding day. That was his baby. I say all that to say to you, man, listen, you never know what people are going through. Unless one thing I tell people, pain is something like I always use the narrative, a person who has their ribs broke, you can't look at them and tell they have their ribs broken until they breathe in. So you got to learn how sometimes to just be nice to people. Smile. Just ask them sometimes, how are your days? Stop looking for everybody to ask you. Sometimes you just do it. Initiate the conversation. Because, again, you don't know what people are going through. But what I'll tell you is that if I can go through what I have gone through the last 2 years, the nights of going through hell and just having to, what I didn't tell you was that he got hit by a car and that happened in front of me. So I replayed this in my head. I asked myself, what could I have done different? I asked myself, what if he was still here? How would I feel? But I had to come to the realization that God does not make mistakes. And I'm sorry to get all deep on you. This, like I said, again, this was his anniversary, and I dedicated this show before I got here to him. So thank y'all for laughing with me, man. I'm comedian Khai Morgan. I love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. We love you, Khai. Thank you. Yeah. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was beautiful. And we're with you, and you anointed. God is using you greatly, and I pray He continue to excel you, and I should carry you and your son to the next level. He's not yet, but you represent him very well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. We have come to the end of our show. Did you have a good time? I did. Listen, we're going to be here tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., to celebrate the fathers in the house for service. Again, please come back and let's have a good time. If you need to grab something to go, I think Caroline might have something for you back there. Go back there and grab it. And please have a blessed night and drive safely. May God cover you and keep you. In Jesus' name.